What is up, guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I hope you guys are having a great week so far, and this is another episode of Tuesday Talks. I have a lot to update you guys on, but I want to start this video off with hoping that you enjoyed this last video that I made. It was a little bit different of a video. I went through a workout of mine and I covered the entire gym tour of my new gym down here in Dallas. So if you haven't seen it, feel free to check out that video. But now it is time for a Tuesday Talks update, which is going to be a little bit more just my day-to-day life and what has been happening in my life over the past few days. So the main thing I want to talk about from last Tuesday Talks is I finished getting my apartment all set up and moved in. Couch is all built, as you can see. So all my setups are completely done and I'm basically just settling in to my new routine down here in Dallas. And that's kind of how Wednesday and Thursday went last week. That's actually when I filmed that gym video as well. And then come Friday, I got on a plane and went to Chicago to visit some family, more specifically my aunt and cousins. And then over the weekend, we went up to their lake house in Michigan, and it was so awesome. I spent Saturday, Sunday, and Monday there. And then I left on Monday, and today is Tuesday, and I flew in back to Dallas this morning. So I'm filming this video actually as I'm posting it, essentially. But overall, the weekend was amazing. Friday got a little hectic with travel, just no one likes to travel that much. And then Saturday was actually pretty rainy, same with a little bit on Sunday in the morning. So we didn't really get to enjoy the lake as much, didn't really get to go outside too much. But then Sunday afternoon, the sun came out finally, and everyone in the community, there's a few homes nearby. It's a super cool area. There's a few homes nearby, and they're all really great friends. And being able to join that community for this past weekend, and they did a potluck. They had a bunch of food. It was awesome. And I got to talk to a bunch of really amazing people, a lot of whom have done things in their career that I look up to just from achievement standpoint. So that was really awesome, just being surrounded by a bunch of people that have really just done some crazy things. In fact, I met someone that went to the Oscars this year. I met people that have worked at some crazy high-level banks. So all those crazy careers, I got to just talk to them like they were real human beings, I guess you could say. We had campfires every night. It was really just a really great weekend to get away from the stress of moving across the country and the stress of moving into a new apartment. And just a lot of things have been kind of overwhelming recently. And getting to take that little trip with them and get to know my cousins a little more, because I rarely see them just from me being older. I obviously had college and high school, and I've worked throughout that past 8 years of my life. So I have always been pretty busy, and they do live in Chicago. So it's a little bit of a trip for them. So now that I got the opportunity to get to know them more, I am very glad, because it was a super fun weekend. And yeah, spending time with my family was really just such an important part of this past week. Another thing I wanted to update you guys on, aside from all the amazing family time I had, was I got some blood work done last week. I got it taken on Wednesday, I believe, and I got the results on Friday. It wasn't a lot of lab tests. It was just a little bit to check my testosterone, as well as some of the other things that relate to it, like estrogen, and a few other markers. And to update you guys, that is actually doing really well. Now that I'm kind of reverse dieting and I'm trying to leave the diet behind a little bit, I'm trying to increase my calories a tiny bit and get to a maintenance level for the rest of the summer. I have more energy, and it really just has been amazing. So that blood work ended up being pretty much perfect. I don't think I could have wanted anything more out of that information. So I got the results on Friday, talked to my doctor, and we both think that things are going in the right direction in terms of my health. And honestly, things feel that way. I feel like as long as I can really keep a firm grasp on my training now that I've moved here to Dallas, and also my diet is something that can easily tend to slip up a little bit, especially if I get really stressed out. I think that as long as I can lock back in on pushing myself in the gym, and I can push myself on the diet and make sure I'm consistent when it comes to that stuff, I think we're gonna see a whole new chapter in my fitness journey, and I'll bring you guys along for that, obviously. In terms of my goals when it comes to my fitness, my main goal, like I said, is to stay in a maintenance phase for the rest of this summer. I obviously got very lean. I look great right now, and I don't want to kind of switch to a full-on bulk right away. I want to try and hold on to my body composition as much as possible, and then I'll slowly transition towards the end of the summer into more of a gaining phase in order to gain as much muscle as possible. That's kind of the timeline that I usually like to do. So stay tuned for all that, but that's kind of how this summer is going to go. I'm going to slowly increase the calories until I get to a point where my weight is holding steady, my training intensity is good, and then I'll hold that until probably around August is when I'll maybe change something up. Another really big thing that has happened this week is I've started the onboarding process for my new job down here in Dallas. So as of today, that job is going to start in 13 days. So about 2 weeks from yesterday, which was Memorial Day, is my first day at the new job. And obviously I'm gonna give you guys a whole video on that when I actually start there. But the onboarding process has kind of started. I've had to do all the videos and all the forms and all that stuff. So this week has been an exciting one in that sense, is that I get to learn a little bit more, feel like I'm actually starting this job, whereas before it was just a job offer and you had to move across the country. Now that I'm actually like filling out the technical paperwork and learning about what I'm gonna be doing in my first week or second week, it really is starting to feel real, and I'm so excited and I'm so fortunate to be given this opportunity. So that is probably one of the more exciting things that is happening this week, and the onboarding process is going to be something that continues probably for the next few days as paperwork and all that stuff gets filled out throughout the next few days. But overall, that is the main thing that happened this past week. And in terms of things that will be happening in this next week, there honestly isn't too much on the horizon in terms of the next 1 week period. I really think this 1 week is a time to get back into the gym very consistently. I took a little break when I went on this past vacation, but I'm gonna lock back in this next week, focus on the diet, relax at home, watch some TV shows, get some things done. But overall, I'm just gonna be mentally preparing for the next following week or the next 2 weeks when I do start that new job. I do actually get to go to a concert in about a week and a half. So not this upcoming Thursday, but the one after. So I'll make a video about that experience. So I'm super excited to do that and get out onto the town and kind of meet new people. But in terms of this next week, not much on the horizon. I will still give you guys an update in next week's Tuesday Talks video if anything crazy happens. But other than that, this past week has been awesome. Everything has kind of gone the way that I wanted it to, and now I get to have this last little stretch of relaxation and resetting before I basically have a huge start to a next chapter in my life. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did and you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I'd be more than happy to make a video on a topic or just answer the questions down below. If you enjoyed, stay tuned for future videos, including these Tuesday Talks videos every single week. So hit that like button and the subscribe button. It means more than you know. And in general, I'm just trying to build a community of people that want to improve their lives in some way, shape, or form every single day. If you know that you can be a better person, regardless of gender, regardless of occupation, regardless of age, if you want to become a better person and watch these videos and see my perspective on a lot of these topics, stay tuned for future videos. There will be a new one later this week, and I haven't quite decided the topic yet, but you guys are going to enjoy it, I'm sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Keep working hard, keep grinding every single day towards your goals, and make people remember your name. Peace out, guys. I'll see you in the next one.